I'm so happy for the guys. That's a hard game to win. There's lineups out there we've never seen. There's some lineups that we hadn't thought about until yesterday. Guys are having to communicate so much because we have some new people and people in different spots, and there's moments where the emotion gets going high in the group because we're not all speaking the same language, and the competitiveness of the team and different people stepping up at different times is what makes you feel good as a coach. We talk a lot about teams having moments, people having moments. Obviously, Isaiah had a moment at the end of the game, which was great. The play was executed well. It's not a play that we have practiced, so there's a lot of end-of-game plays that we practiced. That one wasn't one of them, and I thought the guys executed great. But losing is hard. Losing can wear on people's desire to do the things that aren't fun, to do the hard things, and to stick together and to make it about the group. And I cannot emphasize enough that our team has, and that group of guys continues to maintain the spirit of a team. Like, you go in our locker room, it feels like a team. You watch the guys interact together, it feels like a team. And I never want them to lose that. So I'm really, really proud of them. That's a great win.
Just generally, I mean, Isaiah's performance tonight, and how worrying was that moment when his head hits the floor after the dunk?
I mean, my angle, it looked nasty. Isaiah also is as tough a kid as I've been around, and so when he lays down for extra time, it worries me. I felt better when he sat up on the basket. But then anytime you hear they're going to go check him out for concussion protocol, he had blood. So it's scary. Those plays are scary in transition. Like, it was a great play by him. I thought the defender tried to make a play on the ball. Like, there's nothing dirty or anything there. It's just some great athletes going full speed, and Isaiah's hand slipped off the rim. So obviously happy he's okay, and was great to have him come back and finish the game.
What did you think of just his performance overall?
Isaiah's a good basketball player, and the stats reflect kind of the old school term, like he had a good floor game. He just did. He did a lot of really good things. It wasn't just some of the shots. He makes 3 threes, which is great. We haven't seen that from Zay yet this year. But the plays downhill to the rim, getting out in transition, the pace he plays with, his burst, and then obviously the last layup. It's to do that with 7 assists, 7 rebounds, and when there's a lot of new people, the point guards feel it probably more than anybody because they're having to try to get people organized. And I thought Zay did a great job handling himself.
That 8-second violation was kind of a unique play, obviously, but what happened there, and kind of what do you want to see happen there besides get the ball over? Like, who should be dribbling the ball up the court? Does it matter? And how do you set up a play kind of at the end of the game?
Isaiah had the ball, and that's what we wanted. He and Colin were communicating about something, and I think Isaiah just kind of lost track of time. It's a fluke play, a weird play. I don't think it's anybody's fault. If it's anybody's fault, you can say it's my fault. But it's hard. You don't want to. You're always waiting for that last little quick dribble to get over half court. We just didn't have it. They were communicating about what we were running. I would just chalk that up to a little bit of youth, a little bit of a weird moment. There's also the part of guards sometimes can lose track of that piece of the clock if they don't get the rebound. Somebody gets the rebound, they pivot twice, then they throw it to you. You forget that like 3 seconds is already gone from your time. So that's a weird play, but it's not one that we'll have to talk about very much. I think Isaiah knows, you know, what happened in that moment. The part that I'm most proud of the team is like, that's a hectic moment in that timeout when you've just given them the ball back in that situation, and now they can, in theory, take the last shot. But I thought the team composed themselves. Like, their messaging to each other was like, hey, it's a mistake. We're done. Like, let's get a stop. So we'll take that part and move forward with that.
And then you mentioned like teams sticking together kind of through some of the losing. What do you think that is? Like, why do you think they were able to stick together through like a moment like that, or through losing streak of the last 3 and continue to play as a team?
Yeah, they deserve the credit. I mean, it's a choice every day to want to be a part of the group and to want to make the team stuff more important than your own stuff. Like, that's a choice, and those guys continue to make that choice. It speaks to the character of the people that we have in our locker room. I also think that as a group, we try to do a pretty good job of just naming those things and talking about them out loud. Like, yeah, we've lost, and it feels bad, and you're frustrated, and I'm frustrated, and we have to just kind of like speak those things out in the open, so that we can move through them. Like, we don't do the pretending thing. We try to meet the issues head on, but like I said in the beginning, you know, those guys deserve the credit because they're making the choice every day that they want to find the joy of being on the team. We forget about that a lot in pro sports, but like, this is still a team sport. Being in the locker room, like, them in there listening to music after the win, laughing, joking, like, when it's all said and done, that's what they'll remember. Isaiah will probably remember the layup. Everybody else will probably forget it. But those are the moments that like stick with you when you look back on a season or a team you were a part of. It's all this in between time.
How have Oscar and Elijah added to the group, knowing that, like, from Phoenix, just for a day, the team?
Yeah, Oscar is, I mean, I've said this publicly before, he's one of my favorite human beings on the planet. Our whole team loves him. He is more up to speed with what we're doing than Elijah, but Oscar also hasn't been with us for a while, and so there's been new things put in, tweaks, adjustments made, so he's playing a little bit of catch-up, but you know what you're going to get from Oscar. Physicality. You know, it feels weird that he only had 5 rebounds. I'm used to, every time I look at the stat sheet, Oscar has 17 rebounds, but you know what you're going to get from him. Like, he's going to do all the dirty work. He's never going to complain. Brings a lot of physicality to the team. And Elijah is picking things up pretty quickly. His physicality stands out, but I also think I mentioned this pregame, like, his humility on offense and just the advancing the ball in transition, executing the spacing right. I think he recognizes that he's still catching up on some things, and so he's just trying to execute some of the big rocks well. Thanks.
And then the fall.
Yeah, recovered kind of fast. Blocked the shot. I didn't think he was really gonna jump for real. But I know if he did, I was gonna try to hang on the rim. But I feel like I don't know if he try to like catch himself too or something. I'm not sure. But I fell on my face. But it hurt for a little bit. But I'm good.
Were you bleeding?
Yeah, I was bleeding a little bit. Yeah, nose. So they took me back, concussion protocol stuff. So yeah.
What's that testing like when you come back?
I don't say it's no difference, to be honest. I think it's just like subbing out, sub back in, to be honest.
I mean, like, what are the tests that you go through when you?
Check your ears, your nose, your mouth, everything. So, I mean, it's a whole lot.
Could you take us through a happier moment when you scored the game winner?
The game winner, trying to beat him with the speed. Knew they was probably gonna go with Bryce. Kept it. That's how we drew it up. Threw it out. It was either I was gonna get it or nobody was gonna get it. So threw it out, chased it, laid the ball up.
On what happened on the 8-second violation play?
Not paying attention to the clock. Rookie mistake. Simple as that.
I saw you and Colin kind of back and forth
Yeah.
a bit in the huddle after that. Was it just like you guys were miscommunicating?
Yeah, miscommunication, competitive thing. But I mean, he picked up, right from it, got the stop when it was overtime and won. So I think that's real good for us, to be honest. Same background type of, growing up. Used to watch Colin all the time growing up. So, I mean, it's good to, we both competitive, want to win the game. I mean, so I was cool with him getting on me, vice versa. So, yeah.
Career high 3 threes tonight. Where is your three-point shooting on your priority list of what you're trying to improve?
I mean, it's up there for sure. I mean, gotta be able to shoot to be in this league. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing right now. And just competing, every single day, working every single day. I trust in it a lot, so I wasn't worried about it. And I know my confidence is there to the point I'll keep shooting it till I make one. So, yeah.
Do you feel like this was your best game as a pro?
Possibly, but I could say that Miami game was, a good game as well. I mean, for me, for the main part right now is just being a point guard. I think turnovers has went down tremendously, so that's been great for me. Watching a lot of film, building on it every single day. So I mean, that's the biggest thing for me. That's what I'm most proud of. Turnovers going down.
It's not a secret what your guys' record is.
Yeah.
You've lost a lot of games. And it seems like you guys are still, like, playing for each other.
Yeah.
And, like, happy. Why? How?
Wills talks about the togetherness of the locker room. For us, our main thing is to show love. So, I mean, that's what we do every single day. We live by that. I think everybody just wants to, see each other succeed. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing for our locker room. I mean, it's been great so far. Can't complain at all. No egos or anything like that. Everybody just wants to, try to win games. So that's the biggest thing, and everybody staying together, win, lose, or draw. So, yeah.
What impact does actually winning one? Like, you guys have had some close losses, right?
Yeah.
What does actually winning do to that, if anything?
We'll see Wednesday. I'm sure makes the energy go up for sure. I'm sure practice will be energetic as well. But, I mean, I don't think practice is always energetic no matter what. But just energy increase, so, yeah.
You guys have had so many close ones, especially in this building lately. How did those help you with even just tonight's game and being able to execute with a couple seconds left in the clock?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this last 2 weeks, besides that first game of the year, we've been in close games. So, I mean, we've learned from them. That's the biggest thing. So, I mean, learning how to close games, even though, we haven't been the best at it. Closing games has been a big priority for us. So, yeah.
How much does Will talk to you about, like, the importance of being in the close games and being in, like, the final moments of the game, being on the court and learning from them?
I think he puts us in great situations to learn. I mean, they drew that play up for me last play. I'm sure many rookies don't, get the opportunity for that. So, I mean, I feel like, the trust is, building. So, I mean, that's the case, I love Will as a coach. I feel like I've learned so much, since being in Utah, since I was here in the summer. So, I mean, it's been great.
All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.